The Italian game is the most popular opening at chess, no matter what your level is. With very few ways for black to take initiative, it seems almost impossible to destroy in the opening. Alas, this is simply untrue. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Rousseau Gambit. To begin the Rousseau Gambit, we're going to start with the Italian game. Then we're going to play this weird move. Pawn to f5. And you'll notice, just right here, you'll see that there is actually a 51% win rate. Now, why is that? Well, the most common move here, 38% of the time, they will take on f5. Now, why is this bad? Why does this give us such a high win rate? Because now we're going to push e4, and knight g1 is actually what 50% of people play. Basically, everybody else is split between queen to e2 and the actual best move, which is knight to g4. And then we're going to play knight to f6, which prevents any funny business with the queen. You know, we do not want anything going to h5. Knight c3, d5. He goes back. We push forward. Just continuing to kick him out. And knight to b1, we take here, and we have a massive center. Like, it's very difficult for him to develop here. This blocks this, which blocks this, and there's just no way for him to develop here. You're going to attack the king, and you're most likely going to be winning this game. Now, what if white were to decline our lovely gambit with b3, which you'll note is the most common way of doing that. And finally, he's just stopped any hope of us having a nice little dubious gambit here. And he's gotten his win rate back up past 50%. Oh no, what are we ever going to do? We're going to play bishop c5. And this is no longer the Rousseau Gambit, but this is now the Lucchini Gambit. And after castles, which is the most common move, then we're going to play this move d6, just locking in our bishop. And if he is now to take, we're going to take back. Bishop g5 attacks our queen. We move the queen up. Then knight c3 is just the most common move. Play h6, bishop h4 will happen most of the time. g5, bishop g3, we long castle. And now most people here will play knight to d5. This is actually a mistake though, because now we're going to simply play h5. And here the elitist database actually runs out of games here, but I'm assuming most people would play h4. So now bishop g4 is actually rather scary to white. Why? Because it is putting this pin on him. He has no way to kick out the bishop because this pawn is now advanced too far forward. This bishop cannot go back because of this pawn. And worst case scenario, we just put pressure on it like this. And moreover, we are putting an attack on the king side. Now, I assumed that most people would take here. Perhaps I'm wrong, but that's just what I assumed. So I thought push. He'd go back to h2. You push. He goes here, undefending the knight. And now we can put pressure safely. And the engine is actually recommending that he sacrifice the queen for a piece, because we just have that much pressure and it wants to relieve that. Now, there's one other thing we must cover. What if he is to this move d4. If we go over to the master's database, then d4 is one of the most common moves, and black has actually never won here like that. But in the Lee chess database, d4 is still a very successful try. Now the move here is actually to take on e4. Move that I like anyways. He's going to take on e5. We play d5. And most people here will play bishop to b5. Here, queen d6. And after queen h5, which is what I think most people would play, then you're going to push g6. And the sacrifice actually does not work here because of this, of course. And I mean, now he thinks he has this fork here because this is pinned, but now we're actually just going to go here. And if he is to take this, then what we're going to do is we're going to break this pin. And if you take a look here, the queen is actually trapped. He has no squares to move to. Nowhere. And it's in a position where you wouldn't exactly expect it either, because you have one of the knights pinned, but now you can take here, you might think, if you're white, but then the knight just takes back. You still don't have this square, you still don't have this square, you still don't have this square, you don't have anywhere to go. And eventually, we are just going to castle on the queen side, and we are going to somehow win the queen. And you're going to have to sacrifice the queen, and we're just going to have a winning endgame. Now, I hope you enjoyed that video. This has been Blundered Games, signing off.